Hello and welcome to Sovereign RPG. I am Sovereign and today we're going to be talking about how to build on uneven surfaces. I'm going to teach you a few different methods on how you can build on slope surfaces, on rocky buildings. I will be doing kind of like a building series on how you can actually go about building bridges from one point to another, or building on the side of a cliff and all those kind of things. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and I should have really been doing this beforehand. But I've started to want to do that. So please let me know down in the comments if you'd like this kind of content. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Let's just get into the building aspect then. Let's get right into the guide. So basically, we're on this slope here, just over by the base. I only have a couple of pieces. We're not building a whole base here. We're going to be sort of getting you a flat template so you can build from an area. Say you're on the side of a mountain here, like this slope that goes all the way down. Now, the first way you can do this, which is the easiest way, I'll put timestamps in the description so you can see it. We can't actually build here, which is amazing because I forgot about the bloody mine up there. We can do it from this position. Let's try and go back as far as we can so I can show you the different elevations. So if we start with the most basic way of doing this, and that is with floors and pillars. It's the most basic way. I will put timestamps down so you can see the different ways, because if you know how to build with walls and pillars, that's perfectly fine. There are two other methods that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about using and stacking the foundations themselves, and we're also going to be showing you how to get from a high elevated position while you're stacking the foundations by using walls to come down to the level that you want the foundation to be, and you can build from that point. You can start building ramps down onto stuff and things like this. It's actually something that I use quite a lot when I'm building things like the pyramids, because they're quite large buildings. It's hard to actually get the let me turn all this bloody stuff off that's sitting around the bloody screen. It's actually kind of difficult to get a flat enough space over a big distance, so you always have to find ways to do this. Now, the first way is obviously sticking down the foundations. Now, you can get foundations across, but you can't always go across the entire way. You have it sticking out a little bit. That's only because a little bit is attached in there. Now, you can't do that anymore. So what you're going to want to do for this first way is actually just get some ceiling pieces, roofing pieces, sorry, because it's not called ceiling pieces in this game. And you can go 3 across. Now, when you go 3 across, you can start to have a red. So what you need to do actually at the third point is stick some pillars down. Once you have those pillars down, you can go across another 3, and then you get blocked off again. And that's one way of doing it, where you can spread it out. You can have them going across here, and then you can go, say for instance, 3 spaces in this direction. And then you can go and fill in this part inside. But once you get to a certain point here, for example, we'll go out a little bit further. You won't be able to go to that point, because that point is going to be the same distance between the pillars and this ceiling as it is the pillars to this ceiling over here. So you will have to then put a pillar inside of there. Now let's pick this up before it starts disintegrating and we can't use the other pieces. But that's one way of doing it, where you can do it the pillar method. The pillar method is one of the easiest ways to do it. It does require a lot of time, and some people don't like to have thousands and thousands of pillars floating everywhere. So we're actually going to get rid of these. And oh, I just wasted a pillar. It doesn't matter. But that's the easiest way that you can get. I just wasted more ceilings because I'm doing this speed mode. But that's one way of getting your elevators, so with your elevation, with a high loads of elevation, and it actually costs less to do the pillars than it would be to use the foundations, for example. But the next one that we're going to be showing you is the actual way of stacking foundations. Now we'll get to this point here, and if you want to go to be a little bit higher, you just put it up and it actually just sits on top of each other. So you can start off at a lower point. So if you want to build up, for example, you can build one there, but you can't build any more across. So you'll stack the foundation on top of each other, then you'll get a higher elevation. We can't build in that area past that point because the mine is just there, but you can see what the point is here. You can build up, and you can build up, and you can build, and we'll go up a little bit further. Let me just get up here so I can see it, and we'll go up. We can build up here, and then we'll climb up this foundation if I don't press the space bar more than once, and we can build up again. And you can just go and go and go and go and go. And then from this point, I mean, most servers, especially on officials, please bear in mind that you do actually have a height building limit. Now you can turn that off on private servers, so you don't have to have that limit. It's actually just a toggle on off. It's on the when you open up the GM menu, it's on the right hand side, and it's one of the bottom values where it doesn't have a structure limit. And that's how you stack the foundations. Let's break these down before they lose durability, and then you can't pick them up anymore. So bop bop bop, and we have that way. Now let's say you want to go ahead and build across like this, like we did a second ago. We're going to go a little bit higher, and then we're going to go across over here, and we start to have some hang off, so you can't actually build the foundation there. But what you can actually do is get a wall, stick a wall up there, stick a wall there, and then we can get a foundation and go across. So you can actually build out a little bit more, so we can get more of the elevation. I don't think we're going to get any more there, but we can stick that there, for example. And what you do is get the wall, and you put the wall there, and then you can build the foundation off of here. But if you wanted to say build out one and you wanted to put a walkway, you'd put a flooring piece there, and then you can add a foundation to the flooring piece, like so. So you can have a flooring piece coming out, and we can go out a couple over here. And then, for instance, you don't want to use the flooring pieces anymore. You want it to kind of make it look like it's actually got some structural integrity rather than just the pillars. You can then stick foundations on the end, and it keeps having the same amount of distance between them, so you can sort of build out from that point, and you won't really like. There's other games where you have to place the foundations, and then you can obviously just get the foundations out, and we'll get it out, and you can build them up higher. That tree's in the way of that foundation. You can put flooring pieces through trees and stuff like that, but you can't put foundations through stuff. There's some things you can, some things you can't, and it's actually rather annoying that there's things that you actually can't do when it comes to that. So we're going to pick up these foundations real quick, and then we'll move on to the last part. Now we're going to go over between two rocks over here, because I want to show you a little bit of like bridge building and how you can get from one side to the other and make it look kind of cool at the same time. We're just jumping over there, jump over this side, because there is actually a little space over here I wanted to do. Now we'll do a full video on building bridges across waterfalls and stuff like this, and ways that you're able to do that. I can't bloody climb. I keep pressing spacebar and it disappears. So you want to get from one point to another. You've got a valley in between, and using this elevated area, you can actually sort of kind of try to figure out the height of the other side. It's rather difficult on this, for example, because you can't really see. You kind of need to be about there. You have to kind of eye it at first. So we're going to build across. Now you can't build the foundations there. So what we're going to do actually now is go underneath of that foundation, because you have the kind of eyesight. You have the eye line where you're going to be going across, and you can see from putting it on the top there, it's above the bit of rock on the other side. So what you want to do when you have that level, because you can't always get that perfect by sticking it in the first place, you want to stick that first one down there, and then you're going to stack them across. And then what you can do, if you want to give it a bit of a bridge look, so we'll just put another piece in here so I can get up here easier. If you want to give it a bit of a bridge look, you can actually just go across with a couple of ceiling pieces. Now, when you get to this point, this is where it starts to become a little difficult, because what you need to do is actually like get some stuff in there and then break it down. So we're going to go across, we're going to go across, and we're going to go across again. And then we're going to start stacking the foundations. Let me just get up here real quick so I can stack this up top. And we're going to stick that foundation in there. And this floor piece will stay in there. You can get rid of that if you want to get rid of that, or if you want to keep it similar to the thing. It gives it this kind of like patterned look, and it gives a little bit of structure where it looks like this part has a bit more structural integrity. I do like that, sort of those little things when they add those kind of things. I do like that when it adds a little bit of definition to it. And then all you're going to want to do is then you can break this part down. You can break all these parts down so you're not wasting, and we can have that there. Now we can actually, I just accidentally bloody did that. Press the wrong bloody button. So when you get over to this point, you can then just continue going over to the other side. Now when you get to this point, you're going to want to then obviously put our foundation in. So you have it going across, if I can jump up this bloody thing, and then you can have it going across, and you can have the double frame like we have on the other side. Now, ideally, you're going to want, I just can't bloody get the actual angle there. Ideally, you're going to want to have some space to build on either side. But for me personally, when you're stacking the foundations, as an example, is what we're talking about, it looks a hell of a lot better than the actual pillars coming down. It just looks better to me. It looks more structurally sound. Let me know down below what you think about that, because I really like the look of when you're doing the stacking of foundations. And you can do that pretty much anywhere you can build that isn't like as I was trying to do earlier, where I messed up doing that across. Now we're inside the green, so I don't have to break this down. So I'm going to go grab some walls real quick and show you how you can make it, just as a little extra bit, how you can make the bridge look more bridge-like, I guess the word would be. I need to get rid of this fog. I need to go into the eye and get rid of that, because that's kind of annoying. I will be doing the next episode for the complete Soulmask series, because we got a lot of our guys at level 50 now. I left the server on while it was doing it, while they were doing all the ore. I filled up a box full of ore and I filled up a box full of logs and let them level. It was actually, the wood was a lot easier because they ran out of ore at a certain point. I don't know why I'm there trying to grab something from there. I actually just did all that stuff and I didn't realize I had the walls on a bar because I'm a bit not very normal when it comes to that stuff. So when we go to this point, when we're going to do we're going to make it look a little bit, we actually need the inverted one. I picked the wrong one, and we're going to swap it over. I'm going to place it on that side. Now we can place this one on this side, and you'd ideally want to have a little bit more space in between, but this is just kind of showing you what I do when it comes to this. And we're going to go in here and get our roofing stuff, and we're going to go on the upside down way. Now with the roofs, they kind of intersect with the bit that's at the bottom there, but you can have it sort of sit on the edge there. And the issue with using the roofs, which a lot of people will use, it actually sticks out the top. Now I like things sticking out the top sometimes, but in this case I'm not a massive fan of it. It really doesn't do anything for me. So we're actually gonna just pull those out, and we're actually gonna use stairs instead. So you're gonna put your stairs in, and what happens at this point, because it will still stick through a little bit, but it has sort of it makes it look more built. So this actually looks like it's got some structure section in there to hold it up, and it's on the sides of it. So I like it a lot more. Now if you're using the stone stairs, this is a hell of a lot better. But with this, for example, I love the way that it kind of looks in that level. Let me know down below what you think of this type of bridge. This is the way I do it. If you have other ways of doing this and other ways that you like doing it, please let me know down below. And then I'll have a look at that as well, because I've tried a few different ways, but some of them I don't really like. This is my favorite way. The pillars are not really my cup of tea. But yeah, that's how I like to build on elevated ground. Now I will do a build video of a cliffside base that I'm currently designing, and we'll do a build video on that, and I'll show you how that is done, where it's a sheer drop cliff face, where I'm building out from there. And hopefully that's something you guys enjoy. I'll show you how I get from the bottom, where I build the shape of the village that's going to be sitting off the cliff edge, and then build up from the bottom rather than trying to build to the top by using like a staircase, for example. Is not really what I want to do. I want to use the foundations to do it instead of the pillars. So if you want to see something like that, please let me know down below as well. And there we have it, and how to build in elevated and uneven ground. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!